Hi everybody, this review is on the latest adaptation of the Willy Wonka character, Wonka. So the plot of this movie is it's the origin story of Willy Wonka, where back when Willy Wonka was younger, played by Timothy Chalamet. Timothy? Am I mispronouncing the little extra E? I don't know. The kid from Dune, okay? Uh, he he just like Willy Wonka, how we know him, he wants to make candy. He's an aspiring candy maker. He goes around on the street and trying to sell all of his extraordinary candy, and of course he he's in competition with some other candy makers, and they they shut down his business because they're against him hoarding all the candy making business from them. And so then he's taken out of the business and he's forced to live at a boarding home, and he makes a bunch of friends with some younger folks, and once in a while he even sneaks out and tries to sell candy, and of course he gets caught by the other candy makers, and so he bonds together with lots of the boarding house members, especially, well, particularly this one young girl that he does share a good friendship with, and they go around and trying to sell candy secretly and try to get Willy Wonka back in the candy business and see how his whole story happens. I liked this movie. As someone who really who does like the Willy Wonka character, I think this was a neat little origin story. This isn't like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. This is just a totally it's just a totally original story because like the book Charlie and the Chocolate Factory didn't focus too much on Willy Wonka's origin. I guess maybe before I should say my thought, like I should probably say what I thought of the other two Willy Wonka movies. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder. I like it. I mean, it is pretty dated, and yeah, lots of the stuff isn't really like the original story, but like as it is, it's good. I mean, the song. I guess we all know the songs. I guess it's an iconic movie for a lot of people. I do like it. I don't have as much nostalgia with it because I didn't watch it until as I got older, many years later. But I do like it for what it is. The Tim Burton movie, I adore. It's one of my favorite kids' films. That's the Willy Wonka I grew up with, and that movie, it's a lot more like the book. I don't usually judge book adaptations for that, but like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is a story like I'm definitely familiar with, and it definitely established Willy Wonka more as a character. Like I I love Gene Wilder, but Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka, I feel he really did have a better character because the movie explores a lot more. Like you get to see his father, and you get to see some flashbacks of his life. So I like how they did that. This, I think Timothy Chalamet, he is a good Willy Wonka as a younger. Well, sometimes it could be a little his performance could be a little hit miss. Sometimes I feel like he's trying to be like Johnny Depp with his mannerisms and his speech, and just, he does kind of a put on voice, which is weird. But he also does try to act like Gene Wilder by being more whimsical and more open to people, because Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka was more sheltered and wasn't really experienced with much people. So it's kind of this weird in between where it's not really based on a certain one. It's kind of more of a younger version of a totally new on-screen presentation. But I do like that they did that. I mean, yeah, Timothy Chalamet, his performance, like his soft-spoken voice, like he does this really soft-spoken voice, kind of like Johnny Depp does. Like it kind of just feels weird. He's doing a put-on voice, but I guess he feels like maybe he tries to really get in character, so I really can't blame him for that. Um, Keegan Michael Key plays one of Willy Wonka's rivals, and he was fun to watch. Like I always like Keegan Michael Key. He's always funny. I mean, he doesn't get a lot of laughs in this movie. Like this movie isn't funny per se, but then again, Willy Wonka isn't really a funny character. He's more of a likable character, and that's really all you need. And they don't focus on the chocolate factory because it's his origin story, but the production design is pretty good when it's there. Like you see like a lot of musical numbers, like, and you see like a bunch of candy and such, and it's really cool to see. Like it is a musical just like the Gene Wilder one, and it's very good. Like the cinematography is really good. Like, yeah, some of the props look kind of corny, kind of like Barbie, but like that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be whimsical and a little tacky, and that's really what you want in Willy Wonka. And Hugh Grant plays an Oompa Loompa. No, this isn't like one of the other Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movies where it's just one guy and they just play all the Oompa Loompas. No, Hugh Grant is just one Oompa Loompa, which I actually think that's kind of funny. And his design is obviously based on the one from the Gene Wilder movie, because I guess that, to be fair, those Oompa Loompas, their designs stick out more to people than uh, Deep Roy's Oompa Loompa in the Tim Burton movie. And he's not in the movie that much. I mean, when he's there, he is good. Like, I do think, although the CGI, it's not bad. Sometimes it's a little weird and cartoony, but you get used to it. I do like his scenes that he shares with Willy Wonka. Like, they don't share a lot of screen time, but it was nice to see a good part of Willy Wonka's character of him having Oompa Loompas as his workers, and I like him seeing meeting one for the first time. It was a cool little little what do you call it? Addition to the story they added, because they don't focus too much on just his origin before he made the chocolate. Like for a lot of it, you actually do see how he made chocolate and candy and all that. So it really does work in that aspect. And the kid that he's joined, there's this girl that he's joined with for most of the movie, and I do like her. Like she's not a useless character just because they needed a girl for diversity. Like she actually is a good character. Like you can definitely see that she really likes Willy Wonka. She really without being a love interest, she really wants to help him, and she's even interested in all the crazy candy ideas he has. So it really does work. And this movie was directed by the director of the Paddington movie. He said, yeah, I don't know, something about it, this movie, I can't put my finger on it. It really does feel like the Paddington movies, like the atmosphere on it. Maybe it's because maybe this movie was shot in England. I don't know if it was, but maybe it just had that English feel to it. But it it really did capture that wholesome magical feel that the Paddington movies did. So this movie does bring that same energy to it in a really good way. And while I can't say it's as good as the Paddington movies, I do think for a prequel origin story that wasn't really needed, I think it was good for what it had. I mean, I wouldn't put it in my top 10 of the year, but maybe my top 20, maybe for an honorable mention it would be okay, but I thought it was good enough for a story that really didn't need to have more to it. But for a story as classic as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, for a whole nother story, I think this was good as we got. So yeah, I had a fun time with Wonka. I thought, like, obviously it doesn't hold up as much as the Burton one, because that one I absolutely adore, and even the Gene Wilder one I do like. But it is a good movie. If you like Willy Wonka as a character, you're definitely gonna have a fun time with this, and it's definitely one kids can enjoy. Like, it's definitely a good one for the whole family to see before Christmas. So, I definitely recommend checking out Wonka. And the trailers I got Inside Out 2. I'm kind of interested in this one. I mean, I don't think Inside Out's a movie that needed a sequel, but I'm still looking forward to it either way. I'm still pretty, well, maybe not looking forward is the right, but I'm interested. Like, I'm really interested to see what they have to bring in. Pixar usually knows what they're doing with stories, so I do trust them with it. And speaking of Pixar, this isn't a trailer technically, but I got this. It was more of an ad of Soul, Luca, and Turning Red. They're re-releasing them. Well, not re-release. They're releasing them in theaters because they were put on Disney Plus because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And I have seen all the movies and I like them. So I got Madam Web. This looks pretty good. I mean, some of the effects, they could be a lot better. Some of them don't look very good, but I am curious. I think Madam Web is an awesome character, and I do love Dakota Johnson, so I'm really curious to see how this is. And finally, it looks like an actual, interesting superhero movie. Not another The Marvels, not another funny, goofy, tongue-in-cheek superhero comedy. It actually looks different. Not another Guardians of the Galaxy wannabe. It looks unique, so I'm excited for it. I got The Color Purple. I don't know too much about this one. I do know there's an old movie called The Color Purple, directed by Steven Spielberg. Was this based on a book or is this a remake? I don't know. But I don't have too many thoughts about this one, so. And I got Aquaman 2. Despite how frustrated I've been with DC movies, I do think this one looks pretty good. I don't know if it'll turn out good, but I am interested in it. I really hope it's at least watchable. In fact, what if this actually ends up being the best DCEU movie of this year? I mean, it looks better than The Flash, and it could be better than Blue Beetle, so yeah. I know test screenings weren't that good, but hey, test screenings say Flash was the best superhero movie ever made, and oh boy. But I'll see it regardless. I don't know if it'll be good, but I'll see it. So yeah, Wonka, it's good for a good pre-Christmas movie. It's very whimsical and very family friendly, and just what you'd expect from a Willy Wonka movie. It's the perfect movie to see with your family before Christmas, and I did really enjoy it. So yeah, Wonka, I definitely recommend it. It's nothing spectacular. It's not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory level, but I wasn't expecting it to be. I just wanted something good, and I got it. So yeah, see you later.